Hi again, welcome back. I'm sorry it's been so long since I did a video. I have been bogged down with so much paperwork and I'm glad to be doing this. I'm so glad that's over with. I hope you guys are all doing well, keeping busy. If you can't keep up with the videos, draw things from around your house. There's tons of stuff to do. And every day if you could draw, that is great practice. When you come back, I'm gonna go, wow, you have really advanced. So draw anything, draw your feet, draw still lifes, draw plants, anything you want, anything you can get your hands on to draw. The project we're gonna do today is with a Sharpie and Crayola markers, water, and a resist wax crayon. You can also use a crayon. If you have an Easter kit, there's a white wax crayon that you write your name on the egg. You can use that. You can use a white crayon, and the wax resist I bought from Dick Blick, and I'll show that to you in a little bit. I'm gonna have some more projects, some for some older students. Feel free to share them with me. I love seeing them. I really, really do. I like to stay connected. And here is the project we're gonna do. He's gorgeous. This was from a magazine from my mom's house. The black is the Sharpie. The white areas, the whiskers and the white areas are with the wax resist. And so after I do the drawing, I think I did the black Sharpie next, and then I put on the white resist. And then when you put your markers on, all the orange is markers, and they are not permanent. The Crayola markers work great. I put all the orange on with the markers, and then I used a brush and just added some water. And the water won't go where that wax crayon is. All right, let's get started. Okay, you ready to start the drawing? I have already done it in ink. First I did pencil. So I wanted you to see. Yours does not have to be as detailed as mine. And I haven't added the whiskers. So the first thing I'm going to start out with is, I noticed that his nose is a little below the center. So the center I'm just estimating. Remember, nothing has to be exact. If the center's there, then his nose is right below that. And then there's a line, and this is for his mouth. Okay? I'm going to draw this a little darker in case you can't see, but I would like you guys to try and draw lightly. One thing I didn't say when you're using markers, I'm just working on my wood table. It needs to be resanded, but you want to put work on a plastic tablecloth or something. So we are going to have the markers behave like watercolors. Okay, the next thing is, if I go up, I'm going to see that that's like where the corners of his eyes are. So I think it's in this general area. I can draw this line for the center of his face and erase it later. So if I make the corner of the eye right here and right here, I can then do my circle. They're about the same size. Okay, and then the pupil is up here. And then actually, some of the top of the eye is flattened out. Do you know what I mean? Okay, then I'm gonna put, he's kind of symmetrical, like the butterfly. So if there's a stripe here, there's probably one over here. Straight going down there is in the middle. One here, one here. So I'm just marking guidelines. I'm not going to leave them with pencil. Okay. And you can put more stripes than I do. The original picture, he had more stripes than I put on him. So he has one under here. He has some on the side of his face. It's starting to look like a Van Gogh tiger, isn't it? With these marks. Van Gogh did, you know, he's well known for the Starry Night. And this is where his whiskers are going to grow out of. And let's see, what else? I'm missing one here. Actually kind of over by the eye is where I want it. Okay. He has some bigger stripes now that are on his neck. Okay. So now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a Sharpie, or if you don't have a Sharpie, you can just use a black marker. It needs to be a permanent marker so that it doesn't bleed and smear when we get it wet. So, and at this point too, I can erase my guidelines. I don't need those anymore. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to darken in some areas with my Sharpie. And his pupils here, but it's kind of a shadow from his lid, so I'm gonna make the rest in dots right there on the top part. Okay, and then I make it fatter here and do the same over here. Now remember, you guys, don't try and make it exactly like mine. I love how you guys do it. Everybody's gonna end up theirs looking a little bit different, and that's what I love. And if you want to share them with me, you can wait till we get back into the studio. I am gonna open the studio back up. I just don't know when. Or you can share them with me online. So far I've gotten several kids to post some of their pictures that they've done. I love them. Anytime you want to send them, you can email me. Okay, so just getting that set up, giving them some little more thickness. Now notice, okay, on the stripes, he's a Sumatran tiger, and the stripes are not really painted on, they are actually hair. So if you can imagine, the hair is going to go this way on this side, and it's going to go this way on this side. Okay. The hair here is very short, and so maybe I'll just go up. Okay. And then in some of the lines, if I go too fast, you know, I'm not going to have as much control. You can have some short lines, and they can taper off to thinner lines, or there might be some lines that are fatter. And when we look at the final picture, you're going to see that my stripes are not exactly like the picture. I could do it that way if I wanted. I'm choosing to just simplify it and, you know, do it less than realistic. It's okay. Okay, so this looks kind of funny. It looks like a hand sticking out of his eyeball, his tear duct. Poor guy. I did some dots here too, just because it's kind of a shaded area. My Sharpie is a fine point, by the way, but just use whatever you have. Okay, so more black. All right, so anyways, you can see how I'm going with this. I'm going to show you a picture again of it really quick. See how this is where stripes, like where his whiskers are going to come out of. So the whiskers we're actually going to do with this guy. All the white areas we're going to do with that guy. Okay? All right. I am going to hop over to this picture now. One thing I also forgot to say, darn it, is this is just copy paper. So what we're going to do after we do this, we're going to put the markers on, and then we're going to take a paintbrush. Copy paper, especially if you get it really wet, is going to fall apart. If that's all you have, just limit the amount of water you put on it. I'm switching over. You can use cardstock paper, or watercolor paper. And this is actually just a 6x9 piece of paper. So now I'm gonna have fun with putting some of these white areas on. And so it's like a wax resist, and I'm looking at the picture of, I guess I should bring it here, of where the white areas are. The only problem is you can't see where you've put this unless you turn it a certain way in the light. You might be able to see it. So you just have to kind of remember where you put it. Okay, there's a little white above his nose. There's some white right here. So what it's doing is the water, when I get it wet, the watercolor won't go into this area. So it's kind of saving the space of the white paper, if that makes sense. Okay, now here I'm doing like hairs. This is his chin. And there might be some places that I've forgotten. You can also, if you have watercolors at home, you can also do this with watercolors and a Sharpie. You can do watercolors and a black crayon. Okay, now I hope I got all the areas. I don't know if I did up here. That's a white area. Okay, and then I'm going to do some whiskers. So they kind of grow out of these areas. Okay, and they kind of curve down. All right, we're ready to go with the watercolor. Let's see what happens. I mean, with the marker, sorry. Okay, so I've got this light orange. I'm gonna have you use the side of it, not the pointy part. And, you know, I kind of know where the white areas are. Actually, I'm gonna start with yellow. So I see it's light in this area. So I'm gonna put some yellow. Okay, maybe a little bit in here. Must have, the marker doesn't want to go on top of where I did the resist. Okay, and I'll put a little bit out here. Oops. I'm gonna get my brush wet. And I'm gonna just kind of let that seep in. And see my Sharpie? It's a permanent marker, so my Sharpie will not bleed. Now, you don't want to get your paper too soaked. So if you have a brush like this at home that you're using, if that's the only one, just remember this holds a ton of water and will flood the paper. And then it will be harder to have control of how much water is on it. Okay, now I need to let it dry. So I'm going to stop the video and go blow dry it. You can let it air dry. You don't have to have a blow dryer. Okay, I'm back. You guys took so long to come back. Look what happened. I started working on it. Actually, I got sidetracked and burnt some bread and came back and just started doing this and forgot, oh man, I'm supposed to be videotaping. So see, I have some orange done. You can catch up. Use the side of your marker. Okay. Now don't be hard on yourselves when, you know, your project doesn't turn out exactly how you want. It's okay. At least you're trying it. It's experimenting. And you don't know this because I probably won't show that one video, but I started another video of doing bamboo leaves, and it turned out the first time, and then when I went to go videotape it and I'm doing it, it was not working. So it's okay. I'm gonna go back to that later and see where I made the mistakes. So mistakes are part of art. It's not a problem. It's a learning experience. So let's see, what else do we need? Right over here, maybe, using the side. I think that's pretty good. Okay, now the fun part. Let's get the brush and kind of see how you wet it and it's looking like watercolor. Remember I was telling you about don't use the pointy part because that doesn't want to kind of blend and mix as well as what this is doing, where I use the side of the marker. So I'm not using too big of a brush because I don't want the paper to get super, super wet right now. There's the resist. So see it won't go in that area. Okay. I like how he's turning out. I'm just a little nervous about the brown because when I did the brown on the bamboo, it ruined my picture. So we'll see. It's okay. Okay, so next we're gonna add a little bit more brown. We're gonna add brown. Let's put a little color in there. My mom is so cute. She loves doing animals. One of the videos, I'll take you over to her house. She has a ton of animals that she's painted. Absolutely loves them. She did a tiger face. I think she's working on a lion now. She's doing a cheetah, or she's done a cheetah, a penguin. Okay. I'm happy. I forgot about a color for his nose. So when I come back, I will get that. I'm gonna blow dry this now, so put you on pause. Okay. I think that there is yellowish towards the bottom of the eyes and then like a greenish. With the Crayola markers, you are limited on some of the colors. So that's okay. You can just do the best you can. And then the rest I'm gonna put green. Like the nose probably isn't really this pink, but that's okay. And then now I'm gonna try some of the brown. So I'm gonna look on the picture, which is the darkest areas of his face. Well, this looks lighter orange. So I see some darker areas around here. Around the eyes. Maybe a little bit in here. I'm using the side of the marker, right? How about down here? Let's see what happens. Okay, I don't want to do the brown yet and have my brush be so dirty that the brown gets into the eye. So I'm going to go on the light part first, the yellow. Okay, here comes the brown. Let's see what happens. I'm going to scrub it a little bit. to get it to move. But see how even my paper, like if you get your paper wet too many times and it just gets kind of weak, it starts to fall apart a little bit. Not to worry. That's why copy paper for this project probably would not be the best. So it didn't blend as much as I wanted it to. That's all right. It still has a tone, like a little darker tone. And now I can, I'm gonna, oh, I forgot this part. Probably gonna blow dry it and then see if I want to add some darks maybe over here, down here. Totally forgot about this. This is in shadow, so that should have had some of the brown too. But overall I am pretty happy. The whiskers didn't really show up with the resist how I wanted. You could always go back with a, when it's dry, a white gel pen, a chalk, and put the whiskers in, okay? All right. Okay. I keep forgetting to turn it back on before I started, so, but what I did is put a little dark here. I put some down here, and look at, I didn't totally cover up the orange. I want some of that orange to come through. So I did this area. Put a little bit more in here using the side, right? And I'm gonna try a little bit darker green. Up here for the shadow. It's kind of bright, but maybe I'll put brown back over it after it dries. Okay. And let's wet that. Oh, I'm getting this. This is my mom's magazine. And I'm brushing kind of the way the hair would go. The fur. Okay. Now rinse your brush really good so you don't get brown in your eye. We don't want that yet. We maybe just want the green. It's a lot brighter green, but it's actually very pretty. So I think I'm gonna leave it. You can put brown on yours and see it made another. I'm gonna try and get that to blend. I like it. All right, you guys. I hope you have fun with this project. Please, and you can feel free to call or email me with questions. If I can't answer, I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, thank you. See you again.